I really feel kind of weird doing this, but because I'm not the kind of person that you would normally pay attention to, but I also pay attention pretty darn good. And I think that I'm an interesting person. I'm not like borderline, whoa, this person's great, but just sort of interesting. Anyway, it's the point that I am perceiving here. Let's talk Rick Riordan. My closet. Mystery. For starters, actually, whenever people talk about the Heroes of Olympus, and I know they're talking about the Heroes of Olympus, they call it Percy Jackson. I don't have a problem with Percy, but I do have a problem when people call it Percy Jackson. It's the Heroes of Olympus now. And the Percy Jackson series is over. I mean, yeah, it's over. Percy's here now, but the Percy Jackson series is over. These are the Heroes of Olympus. The 7 demigods. So, not just Percy. The 7 demigods. And so, let's pay some more attention to them. So, just stop calling it Percy Jackson. Start calling it the Heroes of Olympus. Also, let's talk about the Jason Percy situation. Because apparently there's a Percy Jason situation. I mean, I get it, but I've seen comments on videos about, reviews for the Mark of Athena, or the Son of Neptune, or just borderline Percy Jackson videos. And, here's a wreck. Hold on. Better. And I think that, I don't know why you guys hate Jason so much. You're hating on Jason so much. Maybe it's because you love Percy and you want to hold on to Percy because you read the Percy Jackson series first. You got all of Percy in first person, which is great, but I don't think anyone has the right to say that they hate Jason. Oh, I hate Jason. He sucks. I hate Jason. I died when you said you liked Jason. I hate Jason. You don't have the right to say that. No one has the right to say that you hate not Percy. Who can hate Percy? No one has the right to say you can hate Jason because you don't know enough about Jason to say you hate him. You can hate people like Octavian or Raina because Octavian's creepy. Raina is too uptight. I don't know, you have the right to hate those people, but you have no right whatsoever to hate Jason. I mean, you're trying to hold on to, you're fighting for your territory or something, the way I'm thinking about this, which probably doesn't make any sense, but really? You don't have the right to hate Jason. I mean, what the heck? You don't know enough about Jason and his past. You know so much about Percy that you like him, but you don't know anything about Jason, so you can't say you hate him. And you're probably wondering, why am I sticking up for Jason? It's because I had Jason first. Well, that might not sound right, actually, but, I have hair on my face. But it's because I read about Jason first. My dad, it was when I was in 3rd grade or something, and my dad was like, oh, you should read this, you'll like this. And I loved it. Duh. And so, of course, I read it, and I didn't even know about the Percy Jackson series, honestly. I mean, I remember seeing some of the boys in my 3rd grade class reading the series, but I didn't know what it was. I was one of those girls who like fairy books, and I still do like fairy books, but I was one of the girls who liked girl stuff, and the boys like boy stuff. And when I looked at the covers, they looked like boy books. I mean, I don't know. Now I've learned to not judge a book by its cover, but when I was a girl, I'm still a girl, what the heck. When I was little, I only read books that had pictures of fairies on the front, and fairies or princesses or ponies. I was borderline girl, but now I like Percy Jackson and the Heroes of Olympus and the Kane Chronicles. Those are all great, but I'm going off track. And so I had no idea that the Percy Jackson had with it. And so when I read the book, it was like, oh, Annabeth's looking for her boyfriend, Percy Jackson. And that was like the last line of one chapter. And so I think that was about to like stand like structure, or I don't know. I'm only 11. I don't know this stuff. Sorry, I thought I heard someone at my door. I don't know all this stuff, but I think that was starting to just build suspense to all the Percy Jackson fans, and to me it didn't really mean anything. And then in 4th grade, because I was reading it on my dad's Nook, his charger broke and his Nook went dead for a very, very, very long time. And so I kind of lost Hero, but lost the Lost Hero. I lost the Lost Hero, and then I read it again in 4th grade at my friend Ellie, who read all the Percy Jackson books and such. She told me, you need to read the Percy Jackson series because then it'll all make sense. And so at the end of 4th grade, because then I got caught up on the Son of Neptune, at the end of 4th grade I read The Lightning Thief, and I read The Lightning Thief, and it was pretty darn good, actually. And so during the summer, I read The Lightning Thief. When I got back to school in 5th grade, now it's summer and I'm going into 6th grade. 5th grade, I read the rest of the books: The Sea of Monsters, The Titan's Curse, The Battle of the Labyrinth, and The Last Olympian. Personally, my favorite in the Percy Jackson books is The Sea of Monsters. A lot of people say, oh, my favorite is The Last Olympian. I personally disagree because I'm not that much of a sucker for wars and stuff, but because I just, the whole book, like, it was like this much at camp at the beginning, this much at camp at the end, and the rest of the book was like war, and so that's why I didn't really like it. But my favorite was The Sea of Monsters because Tyson is, in a way, not in like a cute, but in a way like cute, like a baby or a flower or a potato. But he is so adorable. He's like fish ponies and peanut butter, and he is adorable. Oh my gosh. And I think it was so awesome where the sirens, or I think that's what they're called in book 2, when she said the wisest people hear, and so they hear the sirens, and so Percy put wax in his ears, tied Annabeth to a pole, and then and of course she had her dagger. She broke away, and he knew, even with the wax in his ear, he knew she was yelling, how could you do this to me? I thought we were friends. And so she got her dagger, cut the rope, and swam out to go to the sirens, and he didn't think twice. He dove in after her, and it was amazing. I mean, I'm a sucker for romance. That's one of the reasons why I love this book so much. And I mean, Percy's great. Anyway, I'm really losing track. Really get off topic. And anyway, I wanted to stick up for my character, the one I read about first, Jason. And I thought he was all great, but now that I've read the Percy Jackson books and The Son of Neptune and The Mark of Athena, I think that we don't know enough about Jason to particularly say he's our favorite character. And we also don't know enough of him to decide we hate him. So, all you people who want to be ignorant about this situation, you can be ignorant about it, but us smart people who have read the whole series and stuff, or most of it anyway, us smart people, I'm not calling most of you dumb, but we're being really smart about this, and you're being ignorant about it. We know. So, us people who are being smart about this situation, we know that we don't, well, I know anyway, I don't know, but I know that we don't know enough about Jason and his past to say that we like him. Or, well, I mean, we can like him. I mean, especially in the Mark of Athena. You might want to plug your ears if you haven't read the Mark of Athena, but, I mean, if you haven't read the whole series yet, you should probably look at the title and know that there's spoilers, but anyway, when they got those sea brownies, and when they got the sea brownies, you know, the ocean brownies that Leo got, and the peach preserves from Atlanta, it was funny because then they were like, this tastes really good with the peach preserves, and then I don't know if it was Piper Hazel or, I think it was Piper, she said that is disgusting, and then Jason said, pass me the jar, and it was hilarious how they were all being, it was like Frank said, this tastes really good with her peach preserves. And he's like, pass me a jar, man. And it was so funny because they were all being guys and stuff. And that was like some of the first personality I actually saw from Jason. We didn't get a lot of personality because Jason, you know, he lost his memory. He didn't know who he was, how old he was, what his last name was. He didn't know who he was. And so he was just trying to get his memory back. So we didn't get a lot of personality from him in the book. We got a little bit more personality from Jason. This video's long. Alright, I'm gonna have a part 2, I guess. In conclusion, I think this has really been about Jason. But, in conclusion, we do not know enough about Jason to hate Jason. So be patient and wait for a little bit more about Jason before you decide you want to hate him. Alright. Guess I'll get started on part 2 of The Heroes of Olympus. Not Percy Jackson. The Heroes of Olympus. Well, I guess, and Percy Jackson. Anyway, goodbye!